Hello guys, in this lecture we will learn how to deploy multiple React and Node.js applications using subdomains on DigitalOcean, using Docker and Nginx, using reverse proxy. So for this, we will need to go to DigitalOcean. I assume you know how to use DigitalOcean. And here I have a droplet with an IP address. I will just use putty to actually save it. And I will just copy this and paste and save, and this I don't need. I will open the connection, log in as root, and I already have set my password and I'm logged in. So I have my apps in the apps folder, and as you can see I have a few apps. So the app that I'm going to be uploading to my DigitalOcean account is called Node React CMS, and it's private because I have some passwords here, and I have it open in this WebStorm code editor, but you can use any editor that you want. And you can see here you have two files in the root directory. I assume you have directory structure like this. It has to be like this for this to work, otherwise you have to modify this Docker file. But what it does, basically it pulls out Node version 10 and then changes the working directory, copies the package JSON, and uses yarn install. And I'm going to use yarn because I had some problems with npm, and then copy the client into the root directory of this working directory, and then run yarn run build, and then set up the server using node 10 working directory, copy from client to client build, the build directory, and then change the working directory to server, copy the server package JSON, install everything using yarn, and then copy everything into this directory, and then expose port 5000. And this port 5000 has to be the same as the port that you use in your Node.js application. As you can see, we're not working with the other way to do it is to actually expose port 3000 from client and use proxy to go to the server. But what we're doing is we're building we're building the client and then copying it into the server, using it into the server into the app directory, and then changing it to server, and then installing the server. So basically you will have with this setup, you will have a Docker file that looks like this. You can use any port that you want, but you can use the same port for every app that you deploy. And this is the one, Docker compose.yaml is the one that will look like this. The only thing you need to change is the virtual host. That has to be the same as, let me just go to networking, and then go to your domains, go to your domain if you added it on DigitalOcean, and here I'm just going to say CMS, select my droplet, and then create record. So basically that's it for DigitalOcean. And now I have a gist file that I will include in the description. So I created it for this, and basically this gist file has your domain has to be your domain with the subdomain, or without, just www, or without, separated by commas if you have multiple. And the same for Letsencrypt host. I will show you how to install Letsencrypt using this image. So basically what you do, I will show this later. This I can just close. Well, actually I'm going to clone this. So basically here I will say git clone, enter. Well, I can paste it. Okay, just right click, kapow, and then log in because it's private. And what you need to do before running Docker compose command, which will only work if you have Docker compose.yaml file. I have this, the first time you set it up, you need to go to this website. Just close the ads. I will copy this, hold multiple websites guide, and then paste this. And you need to follow it. And the only thing you need to copy is this command, which will create a network called Nginx proxy. And then you need to run this command, which will install Nginx proxy using jwilder Nginx proxy image. And you can see here that he's using this command --net Nginx proxy, and this refers to this name right here. So this is very important to do the same. Now to install Letsencrypt, you need to actually run this command and this command, and then you need to run Letsencrypt step 2. Go to step 2, and you need to copy this command, or actually not copy, but you can copy this, then this, then this, then this, just separated by spaces, and then this, and just edit this part to your email. And actually before copying this one, you need to include this. So, and afterwards you press space and this, and then enter, and it should run this companion on your the droplet on your Docker, and it will automatically encrypt your website with SSL. So I'm going to edit my description where I will say let's encrypt companion image, kapow, save, and then that's it. That's all you need to do. Now I've cloned this. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. And now go to ls, clear actually first, go to ls, and then you can see here I have a node react cms. So go to this directory, node react cms, and say docker compose up -d for running it in the background, and then build, and then enter, and this should do it. Actually, this ran it very fast because I already did it before, so it didn't install it, but for you it will install it. And now I think it should work. Well, it doesn't, but I think it's just a matter of time before it does. Sometimes it shows this error, sometimes not. Let me just go to HTTPS. And it should work after a few seconds. I think everything is done correctly. Let me just go to my terminal, run Docker PS, and it should be working. Let me just go like this. Wow, this is really ugly. It's not working. What did I do wrong? I will say Docker compose down -v and run it again. What did I do wrong? Docker PS. It's restarting, so it's not working. Let me just take a look. I know what I will do. I will do this and Docker system prune. Yes. And it will delete everything that is not used. One second. It's still working. I'm not sure why it's not working. I tried it on my Mac and everything worked, but there was a problem with my Mac because it's not a Retina display, and I set my OBS, this program for streaming, to record in full HD, and I think that's the problem because it kept crashing. Okay, now it deleted a lot of things. Now I should say Docker compose app -d -build, and it should build from scratch. Yes. So let's try this now. As you can see, I'm using yarn because it's faster than npm, and actually I don't know why, but npm didn't work on using Docker. I have no idea. I think it's a temporary problem with the npm. But I installed yarn. If you don't know, if you need to install yarn first on your droplet for this to work. And yeah, so it's installing. It should be quite fast. And this will hang for a few seconds from my experience. Let me check the chat. 3 people. I see there's 2 people watching. I don't know if it's accurate. If you guys are listening, please write if you're listening. It will mean a lot to me. Well, a lot. It will help me understand if the system is working. So let me take a look. And this is done. Well, it's not done yet because it's still running the steps, and now it's building the React app. It's still building it. And when I use the droplet for $5, it actually ran out of memory. So in this case, what you can do is you can either buy an upgrade for $10, and this is what I did, and it worked, as you can see. Or you can create a swap file. Now let's take a look. Now we have an internal server error. Let's take a look at Docker PS. It's restarting. I don't know why. Let me take a look at this. DigitalOcean. CMS. Everything works except for this. Well, it's not going to work because it's restarting, but I don't know why it's restarting. I'm going to go into server /-a. I know why, because the env example, you need to say move env example to env. I thought that was the problem, but I was not sure. So what you need to do now is you need to say cd back docker compose down or stop, same thing, and you can say docker compose up -d. Now it should work. Give it a few seconds. From my experience, it's still. Let me take a look. Docker PS. Otherwise, we'll build it again. It should be working. It's not working. So, let me just go shut it down again. And now we'll just build it from scratch. Docker PS. It should work any second. I don't know why it's not working. Let me just delete this domain. Add it again. It's not restarting anymore, so it should be working actually. I think it's the problem with the cache. Let me just go to inspect. Let me go to incognito window. Now it's working. It was problem with cache, so you can see the app is working, and you can log in, you can register. This is an app that is, let me just show you. I'll log in with my email. It's not finished at all. I'm still working on it. It's a website for creating websites. Well, let me just take a look at MLab. I think it's the wrong in VFA, but I'm not going to show you my password because, well, I'll just create a new account. Test. And now I'll log in. Yahoo.com. Test. And now I'm logged in. And as you can see, you can create a site. And all of the CSS I did myself with the stepper. It's in React. Let's just call this MM. And call this MM. Next. Now you need to pay. Just use that as data. Confirm order. You have created successfully your draft. Now view draft, and you can see my site's MM. This will be for themes card. So that's the idea. Let me take a look if it works here. This is just this is cache, so it doesn't matter. It should work very soon. Let me just delete this. Weird. Anyway, that's how you create an app, Node.js application. I mean, that's how you upload multiple applications, because you can just create a new subdomain, and what you need to do is just edit this Docker file. You need to edit the virtual host using the setup with the Letsencrypt companion. You need to have these fields in the environment variable, and this has to be the same. So that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.